All right. So, hi everybody, and happy Wednesday. Today, I am so exhausted. I don't know. Last night was a pretty crazy night. We had some weather, and so I did not sleep at all. So, pardon me if I'm a little low energy today. But I do want to go live because I've made a commitment to do that 3 times a week. And so today I want to sort of recap Monday's video and talk about what you can do when you realize that you're settling. So, when you do find out you're settling, like either it's one of those 5 stories that you're telling yourself, right? It's either, at least I have a job, or it's I'm worried that it might be worse, out of the frying pan into the fire. Or it could be that I've applied before, but they said no, so obviously, I just shouldn't have another job, or the job market sucks. Or it's, this is the best I can do. Like, this is it. This is the pinnacle for me. And last, that fifth reason is overwhelmed with, how do I even do this? How do I possibly swap careers, switch careers, make a big transition? And I do want to share that next week, the theme for the week is going to be fearless transitions. So, whenever you are going through a transition in life, be it, graduating high school or graduating college or getting married or getting divorced or having a baby, like all of these major life changing events, including getting a new career, and switching jobs, these are sources of an extreme amount of anxiety, an extreme amount of fear, because we just don't know. And so much of our happiness is hinging upon it being successful. So, that's when that self doubt sort of kicks in and goes, well, why would you be successful at this? What if it goes wrong? What if you mess it up? What if you're making the wrong decision? So, next week, I'm really going to drill into how you can make a fearless transition, no matter what the transition is. Specifically in this group, we talk about work transitions, job transitions, career changes. But I want you to know that these things that we talk about, you can apply them to pretty much any situation in life. Even, interviewing skills, those skills, uh, they can be transferred into any communication skills. So, we're going to talk about these 5 stages, what you can do when you recognize that you've been settling. Because what ends up happening is, when you recognize which story fits you, which of those 5 different stories you've been telling yourself, it's almost like the stages of grief. So you sort of go through these on a wave, and it's like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this. Oh my gosh. And you go from, at least I have a job, to, oh wow, what if it's worse, to, oh, I've applied before, but, it didn't turn out great. They all end in that feeling of overwhelm and panic. Um, there is excitement involved because, possibilities, those are always exciting. It could be a lot better, and it will be a lot better. But there's also the fears that go along with it. So, when you recognize that you're going through these stages of job grief, of settling, remind yourself of all the reasons why you're such a good catch. And again, this could be transferred to even dating or, marriage. You are a catch. You are a phenomenal person. You are like, you've got it all going on. You're the whole entire package. Why shouldn't you want the whole package from your job? Why shouldn't you want that? Why shouldn't you want benefits? Why shouldn't you want for them to have flexible hours? Why shouldn't you want for them to be paying you what you're worth? These are things you deserve. So remind yourself of all the reasons that you do deserve those things. So what I like to do is keep a list of all the things that I desire, things that I want: flexible hours, paid time off, 401k contributions and matching, all the way down to the coworkers that I want, and then tell myself, this is why I deserve this. I'm an amazing coworker, so I deserve to have coworkers who are also amazing. I'm fun and friendly, so why wouldn't I want to be surrounded by fun and friendly people? Um, Remind yourself of all these reasons. And if you have to, write them down and read them to yourself every single night and every single morning, so that that's the attitude you're taking with you throughout the day. And that's the attitude you're taking, and that positive place that your mind is when you go and seek out these job opportunities. Um, so the next thing is, you're going to want to start testing the waters. You're going to want to start, okay, well, I'll throw a resume out there and see if I get any hits. Well, you may in fact like just hit the lottery, jackpot right away. But odds are that it's not going to happen that quickly. And that's just because that's not really how the world works. You have to put energy and effort into something, and then you get that receive that back. Um, I'd mentioned on Monday that I submitted well over 200 resumes for my first job out of the military. And I'll go more into that next week with the Fearless Transitions. But, I heard no a lot. But I put so much energy into this job. And I feel like that's the reason that the job that I did finally end up getting was as amazing as it was. It grew me as a human being, it grew my career. I was being groomed. My boss was an amazing mentor who groomed me to claim my worth and really, not settle for things and not put myself to extremes like we had learned in the military where it's, you sacrifice your self time. And she said, oh no, you sacrifice company time. Like you're getting paid to sacrifice company time. Don't sacrifice you time. It's you and your little man at home. So like that's the most important thing. Don't ever forget that. So, you know, I would not have had that if I had stopped at 200. I wouldn't have had that if I stopped at 250 or even 275. Like I said, it was that 276th resume that I finally submitted. And you know what? I probably would have submitted 50 more if I hadn't gotten called back from her. Just because you can't quit on yourself. You cannot quit on yourself. You cannot take one rejection because you just didn't happen to have the right skills or the right experience, or you didn't even make it past the HR information system, their computer. Um, you can't take that as a rejection of you as a human being. It's not. It has nothing to do with you, and it has nothing to do with your skills and your worth. That's just a no. That's all it is. If you get a real person who emails you and says, "Hey, we reviewed your resume and we're looking for something different," ask them what's different. What can I do so that I have a better position when I'm interviewing in the future? What would you have liked to see more of? And reach out to people because there are human beings at the other end. Not all the time. Sometimes, like I said, it is the computer system that just automatically boots you and says, "No, you didn't match the criteria that we set." Um, and if you don't, then look over your resume and look over the job description. And I think you may find that there are discrepancies and things that you just didn't take into account when you were writing your resume for that particular job. Um, so we'll also talk about resume building, I believe not next week, but the week after that. Um, or maybe it is next week. I don't remember. Anyway, so Fearless Transitions next week. All right. So, um, but remember that like it's going to take a little practice and it's going to take a lot of effort and it's going to take a lot of energy, but it's worth it. This is you we're talking about. We're talking about you. If your best friend were to call you up and say, "I'm desperate. I need your help. Can you come and help me? I need you to help me pack for 2 days straight. We're not going to sleep. We're barely going to eat." You'd be there. You would be there for your best friend because you love your best friend. Your best friend loves you. And that's the kind of person you are. So why don't you show up for yourself that way? Just keep that in mind. That's a thought. Show up for yourself. You need to be your biggest advocate because nobody else is going to do that for you unless you're paying them. And and even if you're paying them, they can't do it as well as you because you know you best. Maybe your mom knows you best, but I think you know you best. So practice, 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 and remember that no, it doesn't make you unworthy. You are worthy of having and. You are worthy for not settling for a job. You are worthy for having your cake and eating it too. Like that's the point in having a cake. Cakes are for eating. So this week, what I'm going to ask you guys to do is, if you know somebody who is transitioning right now in their career or really needs to transition, invite them to the group. I'd love to see new members. I'd love to see new faces. So please invite anyone that you know who could really use a little bit of assistance in their career search, in their job search. And I look forward to seeing a whole lot of new faces, and I look forward to seeing you guys as well. Be sure to comment below, and I hope you have a wonderful day.